92 Beckham. Let's see what he can do then. We've got Prime David, as we can see on the screen, 92 rated, 3-star. Never been my favourite guy in game. Unfortunately, he just doesn't translate to FIFA. But he's still coming in at 590, which is a heck of a price tag for somebody that most definitely isn't meta relevant in most scenarios. So I'm interested to see what he can do. He's 6 foot with a high. He has got early crosser, finesse shot outside of the foot. And that is it for the traits. And in terms of stats, lacking on the pace, so we definitely need some more of that. We've got relatively good shooting on different aspects. Shot power, long shots, positions looking good. Finishing definitely needed a little bit of an increase as well. But we've got incredible passing, great composure, reactions, ball control, all looking nice. The agility balance would be another thing I would have liked to got that little bit more of, but unfortunately we're out of chem styles for that one. In terms of stamina, got absolutely bags. So I'm interested. He can be a centre mid, right wing or right mid. We're going to kind of see how we go with the positions. I personally play a right mid in game, so I'm interested to see, can he do that role the way I want him to? So let's jump into him and see, is he worth nearly 600k? I recommend using SkyCoach at skycoach.gg. Link will be in the description, and make sure on your checkout to use the code JT11 for a discount on your order. Into Beckham now. What can we find from him down this wing? It's going to be working hopefully well with Owen. It's not a very good first sort of play from him, so I'm interested to see really what can he do. He's got to have something in his locker for the price tag that he is. I know that he can be a centre mid, so it adds a little bit of positioning for him, whereas previous versions could only be right mid, so that kind of, it just narrows it down, or right mid and right wing. Even just adding that centre value is not a bad shout, as to be honest, he's always been a cam for me, not necessarily a right mid, purely down to that pace aspect. But the dribbling on him, like, I must admit, that passing was absolutely exquisite. Can we get it back to him here? Goes for a little Travella of himself. Okay, we can see a little bit more. That ball control was very, very nice. And again, looking for that 1-2 if we can find him on the edge. It's done very, very well to get Phil and Mendy in the position. Good throw into Beckham's feet. The acceleration on him definitely feels somewhat tame. Doesn't necessarily feel like he's got a hell of a lot. So that's going to be an interesting factor when trying to maybe run with him a bit too much. He is probably more ball control passing, which we could have probably took a wild stab in the dark. Owen, right foot across goal. David Beckham comes in, and a second and a third. And we cannot find the goal. Right, this is where Beckham's going to be coming in for goal. Finds it across, finds the finish, and David Beckham gets himself his first. David Beckham, Travella, okay, tame. As we find him there, big finesse and a big block again. Beckham with some bit of skills if he can hold on to it. Can we still... What on earth is that? He goes to slide and he lets the ball go himself. Normally, in terms of ball control, as we saw at the start, normally pretty good in them scenarios. So it's interesting to maybe have had one extra step too much there. Beckham with a bit of silkiness there. Gets the seconds. Can he get the through ball? It's into Owen. First touch is terrible and Rudiger comes and takes him. Beckham again dealing with it. Can we whip one in? Finds the perfect peach of a ball. Owen with a touch and a half. And a red time that I need to take off. Oh, Beckham again. Gets the header. And it's taken away. Solid first time volley there. Oh, that's stunning from Beckham. Little bit of skill. Passes it across. And so close again. Beckham again pushing as much as he can. Looking for them 1-2-3s if we can as well. He's got Capdevila to go up against in this match, who is a very, very phenomenal left back, which will put up most definitely all the fights he needs. But hopefully the passing is going to be exquisite from Beckham in this. Beckham again doing very, very well against Capdevila. I must admit, he's most definitely not the right mid that I kind of normally perform with. Obviously, I go for more pacier. That's a shot and a half, and that's going to be seconds. But I go with more of a pacier sort of player. Somebody who's going to be just being... Oh, wow. Okay, I screwed that up. I didn't think I had it. Oh, and the keeper saves it, thank God. But I go for someone with a little bit more pace on them, where they can just completely take out the left back or right back and kind of just run ragged with it. Beckham's obviously a more calculated player. He really, really relies on that pass, the work rate of obviously either your right back or some of your strikers. In sort of roles like this, he's absolutely fine because he has so many options and the defender cannot almost close him down to the point where he's got no options. That's where you've got to reset with him, and sometimes I do forget to do that, and I can tend to just run too much. That is always something I'm learning on with all of these different players and their different styles. You have to play to their strengths really, and that is where I personally would always go for more of a pacier player, as that tends to work 99% of the time in terms of against anybody. When you're against someone like this, he's definitely a lot better than the average Joe. He feels like he knows what he's doing. There's constant movement. He's really, really pushing that defensive line up, as well as being able to kind of almost jockey everybody at the same time, meaning you've got to either think fast, pass fast, or just get very, very lucky. I wonder. I've never really crossed from a free kick before, so we're gonna try and see if one works here. I don't know how well it's gonna work. We'll see. Big cross. It's a perfect cross as well. The one thing Beckham is absolutely phenomenal at. That is a good thing to have. Beautiful work from Beckham. Finds his way in. Gets the pass. He's nice. He's better than what I thought. But most definitely, I kind of nailed him to the point with what I thought he was going to be like. He's just surprised in certain aspects that we'll discuss in the overall, as I completely give the ball away. Good tackle from Beckham. That's what we want to see. Pushing it down the wing if he can. He's got the bit of pace left in him. Can we find a little through ball into Mbappe? First touch, second. Beckham holds it nicely. Can we find something? Finds a bit of Toni Kroos inside. And that is where he manages to get the tackle. So going into the overall of Beckham then, he's coming in now at about I want to say 580, give or take 578. So in terms of this card, like I said, I think he is exactly what I thought he was going to be in terms of maybe not got enough pace. Dribbling wise should be okay. That definitely surpassed my personal opinion. His ball control was very good. Passing, always going to be elite. That is the one thing Beckham was really known for. Physicality side of stuff wasn't awful, but also wasn't really the main selling point for him. He's not necessarily going to be this physical winger that bodies left backs, right backs everywhere. In terms of the play style, it's very much hold up play, get the ball, pass and move. He's not necessarily going to sprint past everybody, even though yes, he did have a little bit of pace in him. Definitely with that Hunter adding up to 88, he wasn't necessarily awful at the pace. He just wasn't as confident as someone like a Mahrez, as a Salah, as a Sterling. They have got the explosive work rate and are ready to go anytime, but then they don't have the passing that Bex has. Some of them don't necessarily have the dribbling, even though at times it felt a little bit kind of stocky, but he did manage to do quite a lot, and the passing was most definitely exquisite. Couple of bad points then. So pace is on the okay side. 3-star, unfortunately, is always going to be surpassed by anybody with a 4-4 at the minimum, and there is so many options. Physicality was okay. Dribbling wise was standard. Like, I could accept that one for Beckham and that would be alright. Finishing, not terrible, but not the main attribute for him. The only problem I really have with his card at this moment in time, until maybe a couple of months down the line, 578 is nowhere near the price. Absolutely nowhere. As a right mid, you could have gone and get Mahrez if he's not actually. I think he's still an SBC actually. Let's have a quick look. I want to say he should be still an SBC. Yeah, so you got until the 20th. If you are going for a right mid, right wing, that is the player to go for 100% if you've not made up your mind. Other than that, you've got so many other options. You can go do a Garincha, who is a little bit more expensive. You've then got Salah's, any version of him's pretty good. Bale's not a bad one, but links are the hard bit. If you're looking at right wings, you've got Georgie Best for pretty much the same price. He's going to give you as much output as possible. If then we go a bit further down, Phil Foden's not bad, but more as a cam. If we keep going, Jesus is about the same price. Again, will give you a nice outlook there. Alwaran, incredible player. So this is what I mean. The price tag for him, is quite a lot. And I think for me, that is where I'd personally draw the line with this card, is that I could not pay physically 580k for this card for my team. We've kind of got the base coming in at what, 160, mid coming in at 223. This card's got to be in the 300 to 400 category at the minimum. But overall, I'd happily give him, I'd say, an 8 out of 10. I don't want to be too harsh for him, as I think passing and all of that good stuff is pretty good. But I do think if the price does come down, he's not a bad card. He is more nostalgic than ever. I feel like that is where Beckham's going to have his price. Nostalgic, but not necessarily game meta. So let me know down below what you think. Like and subscribe on the video, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.